There's a kind of pain that doesn't bleed, a kind of wound no one sees, but you carry it every single day. It sits in your chest like a stone, heavy, cold, unforgiving. You laugh, you smile, you move, but inside you're frozen in the moment they broke you. You remember every word, every betrayal, every time someone you trusted looked you in the eyes and still chose to hurt you. It wasn't just what they did, it was who they were, your people, your blood, your friend. So you held on to the hurt like a shield, told yourself it made you stronger, that you didn't care. But here is the truth. That pain became your prison, and the worst part is, you locked the door yourself. This is the story of a boy who's not weak, not lazy, just wounded. And what happened when he met an old man who handed him the key to his healing. Every morning he woke up tired, not because he hadn't slept, but because he was carrying something no rest could fix. He didn't hate life, he just didn't feel connected to it anymore. Everything felt dull, heavy, like the color had been drained out of the world. His friends moved on, his family smiled like nothing happened, but him, he was stuck. They hurt him, lied to him, and when they walked away, they kept walking, but he stayed behind. He was living in a memory, a wound that never closed. Sometimes he imagined forgiving them, saying it out loud, but every time he tried, the anger would rise like fire in his chest. He didn't want revenge. He just didn't want them to forget what they did. So he punished them by punishing himself. One night after another silent dinner, another dry prayer, another sleepless thought. He went for a walk, no destination, just pain on his back and questions in his mind. That's when he saw him, an old man, sitting under the tree, as if waiting for him. The old man looked and said, "That pain you carry, it's starting to rot your soul, son." The boy then replied, "But you don't know me." The old man looked and said, "No, but I know pain, and I know what happens when it stays too long." They both sat down, and the old man said, "Let me tell you a story, a true one, about a king far more powerful than any man should be. But he lost everything, not because of war, not because of famine, but because he refused to forgive. Long ago, in a golden kingdom beyond the mountains, there lived a king named Tharos, feared, rich, and undefeated, but no one knew. He ruled from a broken heart. As a boy, Tharos was betrayed by his brother, framed, humiliated, nearly killed. His father chose the lie over his own son. From that day, Tharos swore two things: he'd never trust again, and he'd never forgive. He became king by force, conquered his enemies, even forgave others in public, but inside he never let go. He ruled with justice, but no joy. He built castles, but trusted no one inside them. And he kept a list of every person who had ever crossed him. He saw enemies in his allies, poison in every cup. He sent his own son to exile for laughing at the wrong moment. He said it was strength, but it was fear wrapped in pride. And the kingdom, it began to rot from the inside out, not from rebellion, but from coldness. One day his old-time friend, who's now a monk, came to him and said, "Tharos, my brother, it's time to let go. You've won. But what's the point of a kingdom with no peace?" The king then said, "Peace? After what they did? I owe them nothing." He then said, "Then you'll die with your crown and nothing else." The kingdom crumbled, not because of enemies, but because love and trust were no longer welcome. Tharos died alone, crown in hand, throne intact, but his heart long dead before his body followed. The old man looked at him and said, "Bitterness doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you stuck. You're not protecting yourself, you're imprisoning yourself." Forgiveness isn't saying what they did was okay. It's saying you're not going to let it control you anymore. For the first time in years, he breathed, not just with his lungs, but with his heart. He didn't say anything, didn't need to. The old man just smiled and faded into the dark. The boy then stood up and went back home and found a note where he had written a letter years ago which he had never mailed. Every sentence was soaked in hurt, in revenge. He reads the words again, slowly, then takes a breath and said, "I've been a prisoner of my own pain, but today I'm done." He walks outside, finds a matches, burns the letter, and watches the flames with wet eyes but not regret. He didn't need them to say sorry anymore. He didn't need them to change. All he needed was to be free. Free because he accepted the path of forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing peace over poison every single day. Forgiveness doesn't knock, it doesn't shout, but the weight of those bitterness are gone. The boy didn't change overnight, but he changed because peace isn't loud, it's gentle, and when it comes, it rewrites everything. Bitterness builds walls, forgiveness builds wings. And sometimes the people who hurt you don't deserve your grace, but you deserve your freedom. Let go, not because they're right, but because your life wants you back. Unforgiveness is silent self-sabotage. It delays healing, poisons hope, and cripples the future. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It's the first step to take your power back. You can carry the lesson without carrying the pain, and become a guide for others who's hurt and broken. If this speaks to you, kindly like, share, and subscribe to support this channel.